Hello and welcome to Odds on CONMEBOL qualifiers for the World Cup. We couldn't see Brazil, Argentina, but still we have another round of fixtures this weekend. So let's analyze all 5 games with Leo Bachanian and of course with you. Leave a comment below in the video telling us your tips, and of course if you like our videos, press on the like button, subscribe and click on the bell to get notifications. And now let's go on with the show. Ninth match day in the qualifications for the World Cup in the CONMEBOL. Leo, we couldn't enjoy the Brazil-Argentina. We will talk about it a bit later, but it's very interesting, the fight for the 3rd, 4th and 5th position. How are you, Leo?
How are you, Edu? A pleasure to be with you again. Yes, unbelievable weekend of Sunday we had yesterday with the events in Sao Paulo, but as you said, there are plenty to talk apart from Argentina and Brazil.
So let's start talking about Paraguay, Venezuela. For instance, Paraguay now they are 6th with 8 points. Venezuela is still the worst team in the CONMEBOL qualifiers. 1-1 draw for Paraguay against Colombia with that goal scored by Tony Sanabria after the defeat with Ecuador. So now it's 6 winless games for them after they beat actually Venezuela on the road. So Leo, this is of course a must win for Berizzo's men. If they want to have any options to be in Qatar, they cannot fail to win at home against Venezuela.
Yes, it's absolutely. Edu, this is a very important round of fixture, and I mean not just this Paraguayan against Venezuela, but all the 5 games combined. Why? Simply, I believe because this 9th round of fixtures marks the halfway line of the road to Qatar. A CBS colleague the other day wrote something which is for me very appropriate for this moment when you compare maybe the CONMEBOL qualifiers with an endurance competition, either marathon or climbing a mountain, because usually at the halfway point is you are essentially presented with 2 choices, Edu. One is that you see it as a sign that you are almost there and therefore you keep pushing yourself. Or the other choice is that when you look up and in front of you, the message you receive is that no matter what, I'm not going to make it. So Paraguay and Venezuela are very much likely to be presented with the more pessimistic choice of the 2 I mentioned. When you look at the table, the situation for Venezuela even worse, looks very difficult to overcome. But if they want to keep their hope, nothing other than 3 points is what they should be looking at taking away from this match. Paraguay will try to cut the worst run without victories at home in the South American qualifiers. They have been 6 games without success at home, with 3 draws and 3 defeats. The pressure, as always, it looks like it's total for the Alvirroja, and Berizzo's men must win. With Colombia, Berizzo touched the starting lineup. Well, to say that he touched the starting lineup is an understatement, Edu, because he introduced 9 changes in respect of the team that played in Quito, with only the goalkeeper Anthony Silva and Angel Romero repeating. Yes, they left a better image than the one in Quito, definitely. They scored first in a game yesterday and had their chance to score a second one before Colombia equalized, but Berizzo knows that the 3 points with Venezuela also could leave them in a playoff position if Chile gets something from their visit to Colombia. So very, very important match for Paraguay. And Venezuela again had to pay because of their indiscipline. Yesterday was Rincon, the man who was sent off with the game 1-0 in favor of Peru. Even though in the second half they showed some fighting spirits, Venezuela already being handicapped because of key players missing for this 3 round of fixtures. They cannot afford to lose to get to 10 men again. So all in all, Edu, I can't see, despite Paraguay's form, that Venezuela could snatch a win in Asunción as they have done it in 2017 and in 2012. I will look for an Asian handicap of -1 for Paraguay with odds of 2.32. And we'll also look at halftime, full-time market with the Albirroja winning after 45 minutes and winning after 90 minutes with odds of 2.7.
Mass victory for Paraguay, two teams that are not great in this qualification round. Then we go to Uruguay, Ecuador, 4 points collected for both teams. They are both in Qatar right now in the direct qualification spots for Qatar. Uruguay, Leo, it looks like Tavares is not missing Uruguay or Cavani. 4 goals against Bolivia. In this case, it's Arrascaeta scoring now 3 goals in this international break, although no goals for Maxi Gomez, the striker who should be the replacement, whereas Ecuador, a draw against Chile, probably positive because they were down to 10 men. And also remember that they won in the first game after this break against Paraguay. At home, here we see Uruguay very favorite, but the odds are not bad actually, 2.05 for a victory at home in Montevideo.
Yes, and absolutely. I watched the game last night, Edu, with Bolivia, and it was a great night of football for La Celeste because they returned to victory after 4 games. As you just mentioned, they remain in the qualifying zone for Qatar 2022, and next Thursday, with this collision with Ecuador, they will have the possibility of climbing to the 3rd place in the table in case of adding another 3 points. I know it has been only 2 games, but the impression for many Uruguayan people must be that there is life, after Cavani and Suarez. There were many high points in Maestro Tavares' team in the thrashing of Bolivia. Joaquín Piqueres, the left back from Palmeiras, had a great match, Edu, and assisted Alvarez Martinez for his first goal with the national team. Piqueres and Martinez, they know each other for their time in Peñarol. Actually, 3 of the 27 goals that Martinez scored in 41 matches with Peñarol were scored after a cross or pass from Piqueres. Matias Vecino is growing into the player that we all saw on his first and second season playing at Inter. The Arrascaeta is probably one of the best players in South American football right now. Brian Rodriguez on the left was unstoppable for the Bolivian defense and generated several dangerous situations. And on the other hand, the 3, I agree with you, Edu. They can be satisfied to have taken 4 out of 6 points at home, although they left Quito, La Tricolor yesterday playing with one man less from the 62th minute, and also they lost goalkeeper because of injury. Hernan Galíndez had to leave the pitch. I think Gustavo Alfaro for these two games helped him to rediscover some positivity, and help him and his players to leave behind an atmosphere of uncertainty and mistrust with Paraguay after the 2 consecutive defeats. Let's remember in June with Brazil and Peru, and also the regular participation in the Copa America. Only 4,000 tickets, Edu, of the 9,000 tickets available were sold. However, after beating Paraguay yesterday with Chile, was the opposite. The available tickets were absolutely sold out. And Alfaro made also some changes. He used yesterday Piero Hincapié, the Bayer Leverkusen defender, and Moises Caicedo, both players who couldn't play against Paraguay because of suspension, and they both show why they are like they have to play always if they are available for Alfaro's team. I guess also Alfaro took note that the right back position should be for Byron Castillo, the Barcelona of Guayaquil player, who's having also a great season. Actually, about Byron Castillo, he made his debut against Paraguay, and you know that in Ecuador national setup, if you make your debut with the national team, the day after the lunch, you need to make a dance in front of the whole team. Well, Byron Castillo made his dance, Edu, and now against Uruguay, he will need to dominate his zone as well as the dance floor, because the Arrascaeta and Rodriguez are likely to play on the center left of the Uruguayan attack, and for sure they're going to face Byron Castillo quite often. So it's going to be a tight contested match, this one, I believe, Edu. When you look at the last 5 meetings, Uruguay won 2, Ecuador won 3 with 0 draws, which is a result that Ecuador will happily take, I believe. A double chance for Ecuador has odds of 1.85. 95, and also an Asian handicap of 0 for Ecuador has also 3.
Okay, you see the 3 getting points from Montevideo. Also very interesting game. The next one, Colombia, Chile. Colombia 5th, Chile 8th in this qualification round. For Colombia, 2 draws against Paraguay with Cuadrado scoring the penalty, and also against Bolivia, both games on the road. So again, another must win for them if they want to climb and get at least closer to Ecuador and Uruguay, that we just said that they are going to play together. Whereas Chile, Leo, getting far and far away from Qatar, only 1 point against Ecuador, is always very tricky for La Roja traveling to Quito, but they were a bit defensive after playing with one player more the great part of the game. And for this game, actually, Vargas won't be playing, and this is a massive blow for La Roja. You expect them to get points from Colombia or difficult?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, to be honest, for Chile. Martin Lazarte, the Chilean manager, Edu, he recognized before traveling to Quito that looking at the table forces Chile to think that there are places away from home where they will have to win games. And this is one of those. Well, and Quito was also one of those places, and they could at least get 1 point. Yes, not the 3 pointers for sure they were wishing. Out of 24 points, Edu La Roja has only managed to bag 7, which means Chile's worst harvest since the South American qualifiers have the format of all against all after 8 games. For Chile, of the 30 points that remain in dispute, 15 will be played in Santiago against Venezuela, Ecuador, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. So the math are clear. You usually need 25 points to get into the 5th playoff spot. So Chile will have to win everything at home and try to get 1 or 2 wins away. If the result last night would have been a defeat, I don't know how many in Chile will believe the 25 plus points are possible, and that is when you realize the importance in the end of the draw in Quito. It's only the second time since 1997 that they managed to go back to Santiago from Quito with at least a point. And when it comes to Colombia, Edu, we are safe to say that Reinaldo Rueda has been a good plumber so far. He stopped the leaks and the water flows now correctly through the pipes. Beyond the Copa America, he has played 4 qualifying matches without regretting any defeats, and has obtained more points than in the brief period of Queiroz. Rueda took his managerial position, let's remember, with Colombia 7th, 2 points behind Paraguay, which was 4th. Today they are 5th and 2 units above the Albirroja. There are positives like the fact that the team has gained some reliability and acquired defensive strength. When you look at the fact that they have conceded 11 goals in 4 games with Queiroz, and now they have conceded 4 in 4 matches with Rueda. Anyway, it will not be easy to snatch at least 17 out of the 30 points left to play. Colombia will still need to face Brazil twice, among other things, and they have also visits to Argentina and Uruguay. It is a picture which is not severe, but at least it's a picture of they will need to look at with a lot of care, I think. But anyway, the most for this game, which I believe is the most attractive of this last round of fixtures in September, I place Colombia to win. They are now standing at 1.84. I will look also at goals over 2.5 with odds of 2.33, and both teams to score with odds of 2.2.
Colombia favorite, I agree with you. This is the most interesting game, Colombia-Chile, in this last round of fixtures. In September, now we go to Argentina. Argentina, Bolivia, the Copa America champion, are playing their first home game after that Maracanazo, but unluckily, or you will explain me what is going on, because it's always very bizarre, the things going on around CONMEBOL. They couldn't play the game against Brazil on only 5 minutes of this game. And remember that Argentina already played 1 game in this break and was a convincing victory, 1-3 against Venezuela, whereas Bolivia, Leo, no options probably for them to qualify also for the World Cup, despite Moreno Martins already scored 6 goals, 2 goals more for him in that defeat that we just mentioned in Montevideo, 4-2 for Uruguay. First defeat for Bolivia after 4 games, and remember that Argentina was able to win in La Paz in this qualification round, but they suffered actually a lot.
Yes, and for Argentina, I agree with you, Edu. It's going to be a chance to celebrate the Copa America and the good moment of the Albiceleste at home, and with the fans finally back at the Monumental in Buenos Aires. And I think the support will be there even more because of what happened yesterday, in Sao Paulo. It's absolutely bizarre. Yes, no, I think we are growing into this kind of events. There was a point at which Messi was telling Jorginho Paulista, one of the Tite's assistant, listen, the world is watching. This cannot be happening. Everyone is watching, and it's true. Whatever news site you were going into, everyone was talking about something which is absolutely bizarre and shameful. This could have been solved like 3 days ago, because Argentina arrived to Brazil on Friday. So if there were issues with 4 Argentinian players who were coming, or who they were in the United Kingdom 14 days before traveling to Brazil, which is of course the case of Emiliano Martinez, Emi Buendia, Cuti Romero and Lo Celso, they could have been told on Friday, no, you cannot enter the country. This is our rules. We don't care what are the arrangements between CONMEBOL, FIFA, and the Brazilian Federation, and even with the Brazilian government or the Sao Paulo government. This is a sanitary situation. These are the rules. These players cannot enter. This could have been done on Friday. Even if they decided not to do it on Friday, they had Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, before taking the bus to the Corinthians arena, the police was in the Argentinian hotel. So even there was a conversation on stopping Argentinian players going into the stadium. And in the end, everything looked like clear to go. That's why they traveled to the stadium, that's why they changed, and that's why the match started. So it seems that they waited for the match to start to mount this kind of show in front of the TV cameras. It's something which exists is far away from football. I believe there are many political situations touching this event, but absolutely bizarre. I don't know what's going to be the decision in terms of like if Brazil will lose the points or the match is going to be rescheduled. There are no dates anyway to play again, I believe, but CONMEBOL said that it's FIFA disciplinary committee who needs to decide. So CONMEBOL kind of like washed their hands, and we're gonna have to wait what's gonna happen. But yes, only 6 minutes we had yesterday of a match, 2 or 3 falls on of Neymar. But Argentinian fans will have the chance at least to see them playing at home without these 4 players I mentioned, which they already left. They traveled to Argentina, but from Argentina they're going to travel to Croatia to train there, and from there they're going to fly to the United Kingdom to be ready for their respective clubs. So no Dibu Martinez, no Lo Celso, no Cuti Romero, and no Buendia against Bolivia, but still plenty of players for Scaloni to look at. So I will look at myself at an Asian handicap of minus 2.5 for Argentina, with odds of 2.23, and Argentina to win both half with odds of 2. And remember, last show we said Bolivia scored in Montevideo, Bolivia scored in Asunción. Well, yesterday they also scored against not in Montevideo, they scored before in Santiago, they also scored in Asunción. So look at Bolivia scoring in Uruguay, where Marcelo Moreno Martinez scoring twice. So if you are looking at both teams to score, because Dibu Martinez is not there for Argentina and Franco Armani is injured, well, both teams to score is on 2.85.
Actually, I like it better, these both teams to score 2.85. The Asian handicap for Argentina 2.5. They need to win for 3 goals, and we are not seeing many hammering results in this CONMEBOL. Let's see what we have in the next one, Brazil-Peru, because also the odds are very low. For Brazil, 1.39. They've won every single game in these qualifiers. At home, they have not conceded even a single goal, and they were able to rest because they couldn't play against Argentina, as we saw. And Peru, Leo, they saved the match ball against Venezuela with this 1-0 victory. The goal scored by Cueva, 4 points in this break, still far away for the qualification. I guess they all count with the defeat against Brazil, but there is life for Gareca's men after this international break.
Yes, absolutely. And yesterday, Edu, in Lima, they suffered more than necessary to beat Vinotinto, that I mentioned before, was down to 10 men from the 37 minutes of the game, an advantage that the Peruvian national team never knew how to benefit from it. But they done the job in the end. There was no margin for anything other than a triumph for Peru. There were, of course, 3 minutes in which everything changed last night in Lima. At the 35th minute, Villanueva, the Venezuelan defender, gifted the ball to Cueva, to Christian Cueva, who entered the area, the penalty box, and finished with his right leg for the 1-0. But the bad news will be even worse for those led by Leonardo Gonzalez because of the red card 3 minutes later, after his captain, Rincon, who had been previously booked, received the second yellow card for an elbow to the goal scorer of the night and left his team, as I said, with one less man. In the second half anyway, Venezuela showed some fighting spirit, Edu, and had their chances, mostly because Gareca's men were very passive on the ball and never showed their teeth in attack. Cueva continued, yes, to be the best of Peru, and with 15 minutes remaining, there was at least some time to celebrate a great player, because Gareca sent Paolo Guerrero to the field, and Guerrero got an standing ovation from the supporters at the National Stadium of Peru. There is no doubt that if Peru repeats a performance like in the second half against Brazil, they will have to brace for an impact defeat. I believe Gareca will try to instill the mentality that they showed in the semi-final match of the Copa America last June, when they lost only 1-0, but they had the chances to score, and they left a better image than in the group stage, when the scoreline was 5-0. And let's remember, the reverse fixture in Lima against Brazil was 4-2. For Tite's men, when Neymar scored a hat-trick that night. And of course, Brazil will also have the advantage, as you said, of being more rested than Peru after playing only 6 minutes. I'm curious to see how it's going to be the lineup, because Tite changed the lineup if you take into account the players he chose against Chile. For example, Vinicius was not there, and he chose Gerson, a defensive midfielder. So, but because was Argentina in front, let's see if, because it's Peru, if he's going to repeat the same 11 that started the game, or he's going to go for a little bit more offensive starting lineup. All in all, Edu, I will look for an Asian handicap of minus 1.75 for Brazil, with odds at 2.32, and also a home win at halftime and a home win at full time has odds of 2.
Okay, easy victory for Brazil. I hope that Vinicius can have a little bit more of rest before coming back to Madrid. Leo, thanks for analyzing these very important 5 games in the CONMEBOL. And just to finish this great week with you in South America, perhaps you also have an ACCA for us.
Yes, Edu, I do have the ACCA. I will go, as I've been talking, for the Paraguay Venezuela for a home win. Uruguay, Ecuador, I will settle there for a draw, with the 3 taking something back to Quito. Colombia, Chile, I will go for the 3 points for the home team, for Reinaldo Rueda's team. Argentina, Bolivia, victory for Scaloni's men. And Brazil, Peru, as well, a win for the home team, which leaves an ACCA of 13.5.
Great, Leo, thanks for your knowledge, thanks for your tips in South America, and
My
see you very soon. Bye.
Absolutely, bye-bye.
You can now check every single tip that Leo gave us for this last match day in this international break in South America. Let me know, as always, what you think in the comment section, and if you like our videos, press on the like, subscribe, and click on the bell to get notifications. Or if you prefer, also, we have a podcast for you. See you soon.